Titans. Oh boy. They lost to the Jets and the Texans now. The loss brings into serious the realm of possibility my thing that I've been saying for a couple weeks now. I think the Patriots might steal the 1 seed in the AFC, which would be insane. And then Bill Belichick maybe wins coach of the year. New England, with Buffalo's loss, now in first place in the AFC East. Tennessee they're just one game back at Tennessee, and they're playing them in this game. This game could potentially propel the Patriots into the top seed in the AFC, which would be absolutely insane to think about after the way that we sort of assumed that the Patriots were going to operate without Tom Brady. This line was 3 on the look ahead, and now the Titans are catching almost 6 from the Patriots. That is a ton. I would expect we see a little bit of pushback towards Tennessee. Maybe not, though, because the Patriots look like just like a much, much better team. Like I said, Breech, the Patriots are minus 5.5 and the over-under 44.5. Great game on CBS on Sunday.
Yeah, I mean, the Patriots absolutely look like one of the top 3 teams in the AFC right now. I mean, they've looked unbeatable the past couple of weeks. Their defense is playing so well. And the problem with the Titans, look, I'm here in Nashville. I watch the Titans very, very closely. And ever since Derrick Henry went down in that game against the Colts, the one thing we really didn't know was what was going to happen when Ryan Tannehill had to carry the team. And, well, what happened on Sunday? 4 interceptions. Because if you look at the 2 games the Titans won before the losing to the Texans, they beat the Rams because their defense played so well. Those 2 interceptions of Matt Stafford really early. Then they beat the Saints. Their defense did most of the dirty work in that game. So they really had not had to depend on the offense in a game since Derrick Henry went down. And so I don't think this offense is going to be able to move the ball very well against the Patriots defense. And that's knowing that Mike Vrabel has probably been playing for this game all season. Mike Vrabel loves nothing more than beating Bill Belichick. Mike Vrabel is 2-0 all time against Belichick as a head coach. So, if there's anybody that can beat him, let alone cover the spread, it is Vrabel. I just don't think the Titans have the offensive firepower to compete with the Patriots right now. They have too many injuries. The wide receivers are banged up. Tannehill's coming off a 4 interception game. I actually think this game could get ugly. I like the Patriots to cover easy here. Yeah,
I like the Patriots as well. And, clearly you'd rather have 3 than 5.5. But, Belichick, Mike Vrabel ended the Tom Brady era in New England. I don't think the 2 teams played last year. Am I crazy? I don't remember them. Did they play? You made a weird face.
I'm not sure. Okay. Vrabel's got 1 regular season win and the 1 playoff win.
I'll look it up really quick. At any rate, I think Bill Belichick also would like to beat Mike Vrabel. And as I pointed out, he knows very well that, nobody remembers anything from last year. So they didn't play last year. Beat him obviously in the playoffs in 2019, 20-13. We saw Vrabel pull out. Remember that the thing that Belichick used against Adam Gase in the regular season, Vrabel then pulled it out in the postseason, and he was very knowing about it. I think that Belichick will see a very wounded Titans team. And Tennessee is very one-dimensional in terms of their offense right now. It's A.J. Brown. The Patriots should be able to take A.J. Brown away because that's what Bill Belichick does, and they should be able to get after Ryan Tannehill. I don't think we'll see the Titans be able to run at all, and I expect the Patriots to roll in this game. And I think this is another statement game for Bill Belichick. He wants to go in there and let people know that the Patriots are for real. And with the 10 days of rest, all that time to prepare, the Titans sort of reeling after that Texans game, coming back off the road. They're getting a second back-to-back road game. I like the Patriots here as well. You might be right on that. I think even though I was thinking the game might come back to it, it could get to Patriots -7 if there's a bunch of steam on the Patriots. Rams at Packers, huge NFC game. The Packers coming off their loss, of course. The Rams coming off a bye, and Green Bay is a 2-point favorite at home, over under 50.
Brinson, I am going to be absolutely honest. I have no idea what to make of this game. Both these teams are struggling right now. The Rams lost 2 straight going into their bye. The Packers have lost 2 of 3, including the one to Minnesota on Sunday that diced up by Kirk Cousins. I mean, if Kirk Cousins could dice him up, who can't? The only advantage I see and Aaron Rodgers is dealing with a toe injury that he said is bothering him. And so that's another consideration. The only real advantage I see for either team in this game is the fact that this is being played in Green Bay at Lambeau Field. So you have a West Coast team that has to fly into the frozen tundra that is usually not a recipe for success if you are the team from the West Coast. The other thing I like in the Packers' advantage is they get to face their old friend Matthew Stafford. Stafford has a 4-8 career record, I believe, at Lambeau. He never plays too well there. And, if Rodgers is beat up, that the Packers might actually be okay in this game because, as we saw the Rams last time out against the 49ers, what the 49ers do? They ran the ball 42 times. That might work for the Packers. Just give it to A.J. Dillon. If Aaron Jones isn't healthy enough to play, you got A.J. Dillon, give him the ball, run over the Rams. I am going to begrudgingly and hesitantly take the Packers, but I think that's who I like right now to cover.
Matt, this is like, I know this is going to sound weird, but Matthew Stafford's 7-13 all time against the Packers. That's not that terrible for like somebody who played for the Lions, right?
Yeah.
I mean, although very low completion percentage, 37 touchdowns, 20 interceptions. Overall, like statistics, not that great. Been sacked 47 times by the Green Bay Packers in his career. I do agree that the Rams should have an easier time moving on offense. It doesn't look like. It looks like right now it could be pretty cold. It's going to be very cold, low, high 30s or a high in the upper 30s more than likely. But that's not even that cold for Green Bay at this time of the year, and some wind. But doesn't look like any crazy weather. I'll take the Rams as a dog here, catching the 2, or at least I think I can't see this game going. I can't see the Packers being more than a 3-point favorite. Like if anything, it has to go the other way. It would just be too. Like you can't give the Rams a field goal with as well as they've played coming off a bye. I believe McVay has a really good record off the bye. I have to double check that, but I'll take the Rams here, even though knowing that I'm fading Aaron Rodgers coming off a loss, which is a little scary. The Steelers at the Bengals, over under 45.5. The game on CBS, and the Bengals are huge favorites, -4.5 in this game. What a world, Breech.
What is this world? If the Bengals win this game, that would be 3 straight wins over the Steelers. Brinson, the last time they won 3 straight over Pittsburgh, all the way back when my dad played. They won 6 in a row from 1988 to 1990. That is the last time they won at least 3 in a row. So it is crazy that they have even a 2-game streak going against the Steelers because they never even have that. You know what? Here's the problem. Pittsburgh is just beat up right now. They're struggling to stop the Chargers. Their defense is struggling. Even if TJ Watt is back out there, he's still going to be a little bit hobbled. I think the Bengals fixed a lot of their problems they had. They lost 2 straight, went into the bye, came out and beat the Raiders. So I do like the Bengals to win. But when I look at, 4.5 points in this kind of rivalry game, and it's going to be a must-win situation for the Steelers because they've already lost once to the Bengals. I'm going to take the Steelers to cover.
Wow. I think you got to take the Steelers if you're catching more than a field goal in a divisional game when we do expect, I think, TJ Watt to be back for this game. Now, maybe some more injuries happen. The Steelers defense looks awful against the Chargers. Austin Eckler, 3 touchdowns very early in the second quarter, or in the third quarter, excuse me. And so maybe more by the time it's over. Maybe we're talking about how bad the Steelers have been. Their offense looked pretty good against the Chargers, at least for the first half. That's when we start recording this podcast. So wouldn't be shocked at all if they could move the ball on the Bengals here. Maybe we see some points in this one. Weather should be probably a factor because, just that time of year in the Northeast or the Rust Belt. I will take the Steelers as well. And I think that even with, unless the Steelers just get blown out and everybody's missing, I don't think that this line I think it'll probably close closer to 3 because you're giving Big Ben. I mean, he rips apart these division rivals so frequently. It would be shocking to me if that was the case. 45.5, I could get down on that under, I think, because the Bengals they've been playing a little bit slower lately. Although the Bears look pretty sharp. Neither team, I guess the Bengals can push the ball down the field a little bit more. I could see that total dipping a little bit. Another AFC North matchup on Sunday Night Football, the Browns at the Ravens, over under 46.5. The Ravens are -4.5. Lamar Jackson missed week 11 with an illness, not COVID related, should be back for this game on Sunday night. Would be pretty shocking if he wasn't. And so the Ravens favored by 4.5. What do you think about this one, Breech?
Here's what the Browns offense is trouble right now, but not in the way you would want them to be trouble if you're a Browns fan. Look, Baker Mayfield's injured. I know it. You know it. The Browns know it. We all know it because it's been talked about so often. And it seems like every week he comes out with a new injury. It's not just his messed up shoulder, it's his leg, it's his elbow, it's something else every week. And you look at, since he suffered that bad injury against the Cardinals back in, I think, week 6, the Browns have scored 17 points or less in 5 of the 6 games since then. I just have no faith in this offense. I don't think that if Lamar Jackson starts, I do not think the Browns are going to be able to slow him down. And the Browns just haven't looked like a great football team. So I think as long as Lamar Jackson is out there, I am riding the Ravens to cover the 4.5.
Yeah, I think I would probably take the Ravens laying the points as well. By the way, someone on it is ridiculous that we're grading the Ravens-Bears game at a 6, at like Ravens -6 when Lamar Jackson's out on CBS. Editor, somebody go fix that. It's ridiculous. Should be 1.5. Yeah, Breech, you lose a game, I gain a game. Tough. You don't get the Bears +6. I would obviously think the Bears +6.
You could have emailed in and changed your pick, Brinson. That's how this works.
No, that's not how this works.
That's how this works.
I'm changing my pick after the fact because I did it on my pick site. Anywho, I'll take the Ravens as well. I think with Lamar, how the Browns have played, it's a huge game at home in prime time, massive for divisional purposes. It's just a sort of game where Lamar shows up and has a big game and like steps up. Hollywood Brown should be back. That passing game has been really good. The Browns defense has played well, but I just don't see them slowing down Lamar either. So I will take the Ravens in that spot also. Monday Night Football. Ugh. Seahawks, Russell Wilson, the stinky Seahawks, -1.5 on the road against the Washington football team, who pulled off an epic revenge matchup against the Panthers. And it was a really entertaining game with Cam Newton. Just spoiled Cam Newton's return. Seattle was horrific. They got Colt McCoy, no DeAndre Hopkins, and got just frankly stomped by the Cardinals. It wasn't even really that close of a game. I know Washington's defense has been horrific for most of the year. They played a lot better on Sunday despite losing Chase Young. I don't know how you make the Seahawks a road favorite, seeing how they played lately.
Brinson, how is Washington the underdog here? It makes no sense. I mean, you said it. The Seahawks got Colt McCoy on Sunday, and Taylor Heineke is like an amped up version of Colt McCoy, a much more athletic, makes the smart throws, has good chemistry with his receivers, especially Terry McLaurin. And ever since Russell Wilson came back, he hasn't looked like Russell Wilson. Their offense is struggling. Their defense is struggling. Pete Carroll's walking out of press conferences. Everyone in Seattle is sad right now. I don't see how they're going to turn it around by flying to the East Coast and playing in a road game on Monday Night Football. I think Washington is going to be amped up because a win here would be absolutely huge for them. And I like Washington to win and cover here.
Yeah, I do too. I mean, not the look, Russ plays well in prime time, but we told you on the podcast. Brady Quinn was saying I had this same injury. It took me the season was over in 6 weeks, and I still wasn't feeling right. I mean, I had the surgery. It takes a while. You can't. You're adjusting mentally. You're adjusting physically. The Seahawks. Russell Wilson kind of called out the coaching staff for their offensive approach. So they ran hurry up on some of the scoring drives. They should have done it more often, et cetera, et cetera. Clearly, he's not happy. So maybe there's like a little bit of a dead cat bounce there. But Washington and Taylor Heineke playing well enough that, they should be able to do what they want offensively against this terrible Seattle defense. I mean, they're bad, man. They couldn't do anything. I think Zach Ertz ate them up on Sunday. So, I'll take Washington as well. Probably lean towards the under there, 46. You can get into shootouts with Washington and with Seattle, but the Seahawks have been so lethargic on offense that I would just be surprised if it got over that total. I think we could see that number tick down a little bit as well. What a stinky Monday night game after a long Thanksgiving weekend. That's it. That's the show. Thanks for hanging out, Breech. Thanks for breaking down all the early odds. We'll be back for Sunday's recap in just a little bit.